I chose the Ruckus because you can do so many things to make it like your inspiration.
The reason I got a Ruckus is they stood out as opposed to the other scooters.
It's so fun. There's so much stuff you could do to a Ruckus.
Like, you can't do one modification without combining the appropriate other modifications.
Gotten several awards with what I've had built.
Just something you can build off and build a character for whatever you're building.
It's my biggest hobby. It's like a second girlfriend to me, but it's came a long way.
Ladies and gents, I'm gonna wait till a few folks come in, but we've already done the live teardown of this Ruckus. This is the build. Now, today we're gonna do, or tonight, we're gonna do install the frame, put the frame together, put the engine in, and we're basically gonna put the whole rolling chassis together. We're gonna leave out the wiring harness and handlebars. That'll be like the main thing we'll save till next time. I spent some time prepping all the bolts and getting all the lock or the powder coat off of there, so we're not like struggling on film. I did everything I could to the point where like we wouldn't be struggling, trying to make it kind of seamless. And Tia, she's gonna be the camera lady tonight. And then we've got the dogs in the house. What up, doggy dogs? So let me show you what we got working with. So I had the frame powder coated. This is for Dave. Dave, if you're watching, he's one of our members. And this is his bike. I just tonight put the disc brake kit on there. I'm not gonna run the hose tonight since I'm not gonna put the bars on because we gotta run some electricals. Everything laid out. Got the super fancy rolling wrench stator, 12 pole, along with the other frame. Let me show you the rear frame. And keep in mind these wheels here and this tower of parts, this is for another build coming up. Actually, that's 2 bikes shipped here from, where was it? Do you remember New Jersey again, maybe? This one was New Jersey. This is Dave's bike.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was there another one?
Yeah, right here, this big guy. I forget where it's, I forget the actual state, but. So I've got the seat on. I got like basically everything's set up. The mount, the engine mount, everything. I decided that this would take a bit on live to get set up, so I decided to do that beforehand. So we got that going. Where do you see the wheels? The wheels for this, you'll have to keep watching. I'm not going to show you that right now, but you'll have to check it out. All right, T. Who's ready to see this? You guys ready for this? I've never done this. I have a ton of build series out, and this is the very, very first live build series. So after this, after tonight, this video will go private, and this will be our members only. We got the people that are part of a membership can go back and watch this. And for the non-members, I'm going to take this video, I'm going to cut it down and edit it for my normal YouTube guys. So I appreciate everybody in here that's members. We have the DIY video library, and we have the All Access Pass. The All Access Pass is $2.99. Gives you access to the library of these free live chats that we're doing, like the whole library after the fact, the ones that go private, so you'll have access to all that. Not only that, is you're helping support the channel. And the $9.99 one, the DIY video library, I have a bunch of paid videos that are on YouTube or on the website that are not on YouTube. They're paid videos, and you'll have the whole video library on that. That's the DIY video library, along with all the archives of these lives. Just to give you a heads up on that. We're going to be attaching the rear frame. I'm going to actually take this engine off here. Blow my singster out. We're going to attach the rear frame to the front frame. So let me give you a little 1-2 on this. So the seat is already installed, the lowered seat. We've got the Mojo mount already on there. This one's got like a little rack. So the whole idea behind this, on this one, is it's kind of like a mini bobber. So it's pretty unique. You don't see these very often. I think it's going to look really sweet. All right, we got our mounting bolts here for the frame. I'm just putting some red Loctite on those. Always do red Loctite on those bolts. I'm just going to slide these through. So I got to get it started. That's step one. And this frame is pretty heavy, so all right. Sucker's tight as hell. All right, this is the engine. So I'm getting the motor mount lined up. I already have the motor mount attached there. That's the Mojo mount. And this is for an 8-inch fatty. So I'm going to got this little engine bolt. Take a little grease. It's good to do this because then it also slides in better, but it doesn't rust either. Sometimes it's best to take a little screwdriver, a little wiggle, then you get her lined up. Got to be careful. Let me go around the other side so I can get this thing lined up. I'm going to crank the hell out of this engine mounting bolt. I need to attach the shock through here before I crank the engine mounting bolt all the way down. See that little space? We need to get a washer actually on each side of there, really. Now we got to fit final washer through there. A little crack.
Tyler, are you talking about the OEM swap kit or the low down? I don't think we have wheels for either of those.
All right, that shock is good to go. It's down here is good, and then up here is good too. So now I can crank the engine down the rest of the way. See this right here? This is all powder coat. All right, frame and engine is in. We got 73 people in the house. I appreciate you guys. It's fun to do these lives when there's a lot of people because it's like, it makes it more worth it for me. It's pretty sweet. This whole thing is sweet. I want to keep on doing these, so if I can improve this in any way, you let me know. See this sucker? This is the wiring harness that we pulled out. All right, let me show you. I can't really show you the complete harness that I'm putting in because it's not done, but this bike will come with the very first customer premium rolling wrench harness. Let me show you what's entailed. So I've got here, we're going with the Moto Gadget M unit. If you don't know about that, look that sucker up. The wires are going to be these super thin 26 gauge wires. This is how thick the entire wiring harness is going to be. Is that sweet or what? And it's all going to be tucked into the bars because this is more of like a bobber look. So I don't know that we're doing a wire tuck, but the wiring is going to be really clean. And then we've got the Raychem heat shrink, best of the best. And all of these wires are mil-spec, military grade wires. Actually, I should show you a demonstration of these wires. Let me show you something really quick. Okay, so what you get out of a mil-spec wire. Okay, here is a normal wire that you see in your everyday standard wire. It burns the heat shrink. You could actually light it on fire. That's normal wire, okay? Now let me show you, if you light this mil-spec wire, it doesn't light up. Literally, look at that. I mean, it'll change color, but it won't start up on fire. So the advantage of mil-spec, the wire is a lot thinner, and you're good, thank you. And it also won't look like this crap. Look at that. It's like chalky. So be looking for that. That'll be in like one of the next episodes. I actually have this harness on my bike right now.
So,
We got an escaped dog.
absolutely not.
I have this Rolling Wrench Premium harness on there. You guys will be blown away. This harness is next level. This is like, so much stuff goes into this harness that's going to be like, yeah, I probably don't need that for my Ruckus. This is how crazy this harness is going to be. I'm not going to tell you too much until I can actually show you. So I'm super pumped about that. Is Tia doing a good job or does she suck?
Be quiet.
I'm just kidding.
Bear with me.
Yeah, I think you're doing a good job.
Oh, thanks.
This is the front end. So you got this. This is the little foam pad that comes on a stock Ruckus. Then you got your locking nut. This is the NCY triple tree, by the way. And then you got your little washer with the notch in it. I'll show you that in just a sec. See that little notch? That fits down this right here. So the nut on it doesn't come loose. So I've got a couple different bearings. These guys. And that one's going to go down there. I'll just leave it there. But I need to put some grease on it. And then we've got the top. So you want to definitely get this really lubed up. If you notice, like from the get-go, that wasn't really lubed, so it'd be a huge difference in the steering when you when we're all said and done. I'm using really good synthetic grease. So I'm going to slide this sucker up through. Just like that. I'm going to apply some pressure. Still got my bearing up here. If you notice the race here, that goes down toward the bearing. It's important that you keep your pressure down at the bottom here so that the bearing is in its little spot. And I have this brake master cylinder that I won't actually be using since we're doing a front and rear disc, and that's going to be that's like, we want to match them. So got a whole brand new set. They're over here, these guys. This will be what we're using. This will look nice. Same one for the front and the rear. So I'm going to crank this down. That's about right. See now I can't move the bars. So I'm going to loosen it just a little bit. That might be about right. So once the bars are on, what you want to do is when you turn the bars, you should get like one bounce. I know that's a weird rule, but it's a little tight right now, and I like it that way. That way we can, once I get the bars and everything on, it'll loosen up, or it's more weight on there, and it'll feel a little loose. So that sucker, little key, that goes down. And then you've got your locking nut. That's going to lock it down. You're basically locking these two against each other. That way you don't, this doesn't come loose when you're turning them left and right. Okay, then I'll put this little foam washer on there. And then this is the NCY handlebar mount. So if I slide this through here, and then you got the bolt coming through, and then see this weird looking thing? That goes around. I'm not worried about Loctite since it's a nylon nut there. Like I said, we're not going to put the bars on tonight, just the triple tree. And I'm just going to halfway install these just so these aren't floating around the shop. I always do that. I always just like, I'll add a few threads just to keep it in place. All right, you guys ready to see the wheels? Or the wheel? The front wheel? Just look at it. Huh? You got the white walls, and that's like a rusty red. Because we're doing like a bobber style build. I think it should be pretty sweet. I'm actually going to put a little bit of grease on this axle so we don't get rusting and it slides through real nice. Normally what I do is I just hang this here like that, slide this in slowly. As long as it's on, I just don't like it banging around. That was the purpose of that.
What do you want them to see right now?
Right here. So this larger axle spacer on the opposite of the brake side. Generally that's what it's going to be. Need to go up on the lift just a hair. Okay, got the axles through most of the way. I'm going to actually bring this up more. And I'll flip this around. Over on the other side here, will that make it to the other side? So I've got this little spacer. It's a smaller spacer. And it's not uncommon to have to modify these spacers. It's not always just going to mount correctly because there's so many different hubs out there and things like that.
Just as the front tire looks wider.
So now we got the disc brake on. As you notice, see, I couldn't slide it in. It needed to come in at an angle. Just have to be careful not to hit the powder coat. So go like that, and then I've got these screws that I need to put some Loctite on them quick. Bolts, not screws. Here's a little trick. You can put one on one and do the old swirly. And just get them started. To be honest, the rear brake is a lot more powerful than this front brake. It's a 4-piston. This is a 2-piston. So Dave, we can always upgrade this if you're watching. The black one wants out. Take a look. Lal? All right. So I got that on there. Doesn't that look slick? That color, I love it. If you notice, this here is it's got a little magnet inside the bolt here, and that's for the pickup for the speedometer. That's what that is. What do you guys think of the color scheme and the setup so far? Pretty sweet, huh? Look at that. And it'll have the ape hangers up here, and then I guess you kind of have a visual of what it's like. Then we got the big 8-inch rear wheel over there. I'll put that on next. That's our rear disc brake kit, by the way. Let me show you what it looks like. Would you just look at it? Oh yeah. This whole wiring harness is going to be twisted wire. Should be cool. Got our EFI system. Throttle body there. I like this little rack too. It's pretty sweet. You don't see this type of build normally. Where do you see this? It's pretty sweet. What size tire are people running on the 12s? It depends if you want like the really low profile. So like this one is a 120/70/12. You notice how the tire is really thick. Then you can do the 160/12. See how that's like super thin? And you can do 170/12 as well. Those are pretty much the most common sizes. This size though, I had this on my Ruckus and I was hitting my rim on certain things, so not a good idea. I would probably go just a little bit taller for the front wheel. Our dog's like a squirrel. Lal, you have a question? Do the chickens have large talons? She's like a prairie dog.
How far you look back?
That's good. All right, I'm gonna crank this thing up. Yeah, we're good. All right, so here is our sweet rear wheel. It's kind of dirty. I left it dirty to give it that vintage look. I'll clean it up. I clean these the powder coat up right here, so I can put this little plate back there, like that. Now we got to get this on here, real slow. Of course, the jack isn't high enough. I hope the thing doesn't fall over.
What do you want me to do? Hold on the other side?
Just, yeah, put your other arm over there just in case. T is multitasking. So am I. Oh, there we go. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my little thing. Not quite yet. Oh, yeah, folks.
You good?
Yeah, I love doing these different builds on these Ruckuses. There's so many different things that you can do, different types of Ruckus builds you can do to make it your own. All right. This one's a 12 by 8. And then the tire is, what is it? 130, 70, 12. That looks sharp. Totally sharp. Let me see if I can come around. You can see the disc brake kit. Look at that. Yes, Queen. What do you think? What do you guys think? I think it looks super sweet. All right. So I'm gonna slide this sucker. So this already had EFI installed. Actually, you know what? Off camera, see it? See this? There's a zip tie here, but this hose needs to be trimmed down just a little bit. If you notice right here, this is a little band here to hold the fuel pump. This is our rolling wrench EFI fuel pump. So I'm just gonna get the bolt started over on that side. So Dave wanted to keep this kind of like bobbered out, so we're not covering this tank up. We're gonna keep it like bobber style. So I think that'll look kind of cool. I'm just gonna prop this up just a little bit to slide that in. This will go over the top here. And then to figure out if I want to go over or under, I think I'll go under. Just start these by with my fingers here. This goes actually down like that, because see that notch? That's going to go right in there. Well, we got those all tight finally. The next live is going to be I don't know if it'll be a 2-part or we'll have one more part, but I'll have the handlebar. Let me show you something sweet. So these are the buttons. Look at these. See these buttons? See those little rings? They light up different colors. So there's one side of the bar, and these are made in like Norway, I think. And this is the other side. Super, super slick. And these are for the solid state system that I'm running. So you might have like, I don't remember the colors, but you have like a red ring here, yellow here, green here, and they'll light up with LEDs behind them. Should be pretty sweet. And then he has these Vans grips. Those look cool. Go on there. There's literally going to be like no wire. All the wires will be pretty hidden. And then it'll be EFI, their fuel injection kit in there. I already have the stator, the rolling wrench stator back there. 12-pole stator. Super fancy. Yeah, this bike's sweet. This was like my goal. I wanted to get this bike as a rolling chassis. And we did that. The headlights are just the stock ones. Got a whole cage powder coated black. Of course, we got LEDs in there. Those are super sweet. These are the fanless LEDs. We have these on the website. This like pretty much doubles the output on these lights, and it's less wattage. So let me show you something, you guys. This is a question that I get a lot. So see this ignition here? If you notice this piece comes off, that's super important, because when you put your, I'm gonna unscrew this, put that down there. This is super important because whenever you install your actual key, notice this is where the lock goes. See that? And then the other question I get a lot is, see these screws? They're like a weird safety screw. All that is a number 3 screwdriver. Has anybody seen one of these? See the ugly part of your frame there? This just blocks it off. This one is Ruckus. I think that's good. That one looks good. So this is the battery. I pre-screwed in all these things. This is the battery box mount. And it goes right here. Oh, there we go. Let me put a little red lock or a blue Loctite on there. These bolts that I'm tightening down are, this just holds the battery box on, like where you'd mount the battery box. See those? That's where the headlight mounts. This goes right here. And there's one right here. All right, so this goes right here. This is like the key switch. But before I do that, I can get it like halfway started. Like that. And then, see, when I crank this down, it kind of pinches it in there. You can buy custom key covers. There we go. Look at that fancy key. Oh yeah. All right, I'm just gonna like halfway put this on.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that looks good. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. And you have anything?
No.
I appreciate you guys.